What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We're back at it in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and today I've got one I am really excited about sharing with you guys. We are in the F-15 E Strike Eagle by DC Designs. We're going to be flying it out of RAF Lakenheath over to Mach Loop, flying the loop a few times, 2 or 3 times, and then coming back and recovering at Lakenheath. So should be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we are in a Seymour Johnson Strike Eagle. There isn't one for Lakenheath. Hopefully that'll change. But so anyway, we're saying, maybe Seymour Johnson, they're on a temporary deployment or something like that. Anyway, we've got 2 bags, a sniper pod, and a FLIR on the aircraft as well. So pretty cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop in the plane, and we'll get going. Very nice. Not a bad airplane. Not a bad airplane at all. Let's go ahead, and I need to set my course for my outbound. We got to do 296 on the outbound course. There we go. All right. Go ahead and knock the brakes off. Crack the throttle. We'll get rolling. We'll double check this time as well. It's a little bit late in the evening here in England, so I want to make sure that we get to do Mach Loop at a good hour of the day. Let's see, 458. You know what? Let's back it up a little bit more. There we go. That's better. That's better. So anyway, this is the F-15 by DC Designs. It's not a bad airplane. So far I've really enjoyed it. My biggest hesitation with the plane was the price point. $40 is a lot. If this plane had been $20, I would have bought it all day long, every day, without hesitation, regardless. Like, I wouldn't even have waited to hear any feedback on the airplane. 30, I probably would have, wanted a little feedback just to kind of get a good general idea. 40, 40 was a lot for me, I'll be honest. 40 was a good bit, and so I sat on it for a while, I mulled on it, I really looked at the reviews and stuff like that, and, I saw the plane had some growing planes initially, pardon the pun, and, it's had some mods though, and it's being worked on. There's a good community effort working on it as well, so I decided to go ahead and jump on board and get it. And I haven't been disappointed. I don't regret it. All right, let's go ahead and let's get this canopy closed. Actually, there we go. Be on our way. Also, another cool thing about this flight is we are flying off a real-life stereo flight plan that I found for Lakenheath to Mach Loop and back. Not a lot to it, honestly. In fact, there's no waypoints. I wonder like if it's all done via radar vectors, but they do use the Litchfield radar corridor transiting the country. Basically, what the radar corridors are, there's a few of them scattered across England. And what they do is they allow military traffic to fly through these corridors. They kind of help deconflict them with civilian traffic when they're transiting from point A to point B. So there's the Litchfield Corridor, there's the Daventry Corridor, I think there's the Westcott Corridor, there's a few others as well. Civilian traffic can use the radar corridor. See, the wind is against us compared to what was set up. Well, you know what? We're going to go with it. It'll be all right. We'll have a slight tailwind, but we'll make it work. So anyway, like I said, civilian traffic can use the radar corridors as well. It's basically just a section of airspace, like I said, used to deconflict traffic, crossing airways and stuff like that. So military uses them a lot. I think they have to. But Litchfield will be at 14,000 feet. So we'll take off. We will try to do the departure procedure for Lakenheath. We'll go to Point Charlie, just north of the field at a place called Black Dyke. Is the visual landmark for it. It's a trout fishery. So we'll fly by Black Dyke, and then we'll start climbing out and heading towards Litchfield. So anyway, we're going to get up here and do a quick flight control check. This is going to be pretty much a full flight, at least, you know, as much as I can. It may be clipped a little bit, but... Alright, let's go ahead and set the parking brake. Exit the plane and check some things out here. Alright, aileron. Alright, that's all looking good. Rudder's looking good as well. Speed brake out. Back in. Flaps up. And flaps back down. Alright, sweet. Pop back in, we'll get going. Crack throttle, knock the brakes off. She is a little bit of a pig taxiing. Like, you need to really have good nose wheel authority. You need to be under 10 knots or right there around it. The faster you get, the less you have, which I guess is kind of true to life, but you can use that, and a little differential braking kind of helps as well. So we'll be taking off with a bit of a tailwind. It wasn't like I hadn't planned on it being that way. Well, now, yeah, I don't know. It's changed up. That's the thing. You see one thing and you get in sim and it's something else. So we'll go with it. All right, we're lined up, ready to go. Got a course set. We'll fly out the 1 DME. We'll get 1,000 or below. We'll turn on a northerly heading towards Black Dyke. We'll climb to 1,500 feet. We'll cross Black Dyke at 1,500 feet. Then we'll begin our cruise climb from there. So, all right, I think we're set to go. Let's go ahead and hold the brakes. Open the throttle. All right, here we go. All right, through 100 knots, 120, 130, go ahead and start pulling back. There you go, we're off. You're up. All right, flaps up. Nice. We'll stay at below 1,000 to about the 1 DME.
Charlie Alpha Echo contact.
Power back.
On 136.5.
And we'll ignore ATC. All right, let's go ahead and turn towards the north. Go ahead and start climbing towards 1,500 feet.
Echo, please acknowledge.
We don't need to talk to you. We're all right. All right, we'll climb out 1,500 feet. We'll maintain 1,500. There's Black Dyke right there, right off the nose. That little crook in that, or the little pond. The little pond is the trout, part of the trout fishery deal there. Well, that's going to be Point Charlie right here, Black Dyke. Fault well over there. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Charlie Alpha, Echo acknowledged. Last transmission.
All right, let's go ahead and keep climbing. Ooh, we're at 600 knots, man. Can we break the sound barrier?
Charlie Alpha, Echo IFR flight plan is canceled.
All right, we'll go ahead and climb out. We'll do our cruise climb. We need to turn back towards the west now to pick up our route.
Frequency change approved.
Yes, please. You know, you can cancel it all day, every day. We don't like you. Don't like talking to ATC because they suck. So we'll climb to 14,000 feet, and then we'll cruise over to the other side of the country to Mach Loop through the Litchfield Radar Corridor. Beautiful day. Beautiful, beautiful day. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. It's later in the evening there in real life, but I wanted to adjust the time where we could actually see everything really good. Plus, you start getting below these cloud layers and things start getting really dark. All right, let's continue our climb to 14,000. But absolutely gorgeous, right? Ready to head back to heading to 296. G-Fly is really nice. You just have to be light on the controls, right? Have to be light on the controls, but she does all right. She's not bad. She does feel a little springy on the controls to me, but I don't know. Gosh, that could be my joystick settings. That could be the flight model. That could be, I mean, that could be a ton of things. All right, we got the autopilot going and nav mode going. Yeah, you know, the responsiveness of the aircraft. There's just so many variables that go into it. I don't know, like, it's really hard to say where the problem could be. I don't doubt that, like, my sensitivity settings could play a big factor in that as far as my joystick and stuff like that, so. Either way, it does all right. You just have to be a little light on the controls. She does feel springy on the controls, but it is what it is. I mean, you can get used to it, and it does all right, so. All right, a little bit of an external view while we cruise here. Beautiful, beautiful bird, right? So we just flew over a little town called Mach, right there. Like I said, I've never been to England. I don't know much about it. If I butcher these names, forgive me. I'm not a name person, so I could very well butcher these really bad. But basically, the Litchfield Corridor would take us from the northeast to the southwest over, or just kind of like north of Birmingham. A little bit, very roughly, that's where it will be. Right now, like, that would be back over towards Peterborough. I'm tracking this on a little nav map as well. I like the extra situational awareness. Look at that countryside. It is absolutely gorgeous, right? Look at that. Very different from the States. Very different from the U.S. way, the patchwork of the terrain, you know. And I don't know why. I don't know why, but I mean, there's no doubt this is England, right? I saw it back into plane. Litchfield RC entry 20 miles out, about 25, so we got a little bit. Oh, look at that. Man, that looks good. Man, that looks so good. This is actually my first trip overseas as well, my first flight, which is kind of crazy. My first flight would be in an F-15. But I've always gravitated towards military flights. I just like what they have to offer. It's a lot of different missions and stuff like that, so. And then, you know, I try to get it as close to real life as I can. Now, like I said, this is based on a stereo flight plan that I found, the departure procedure that I found, stuff that I've heard on videos and on scanner audio clips and stuff like that. Is it going to be 100%? No, probably not. I wish it was. I wish it was. If there's anyone out there that really knows this stuff well that could critique and give me tips afterwards as far as like the routing, the navigation, that kind of thing, I would be all about it. I would be all about it because I like to do this as close to real life as I can because this is going to be as close to real life as I can do it, you know? So, I mean, who didn't want to be a fighter pilot when they were a kid? So now I'm going to be a armchair pilot. And we just flew over RF Cottesmore. There you go. Right there. I guess that's how you pronounce that. Pretty cool, though. Beautiful, beautiful scenery though. Man, it just looks amazing. Gorgeous day in England. I was kind of worried about that when I first wanted to do this trip. I was like, man, I hope they're having nice weather over there. Because I always kind of associate it with rainy, dreary weather. I don't know why. I do. I always have. Like I said, as far as the visuals on the plane, it's not a bad looking plane. It actually looks really good. Like I said, this is a Seymour Johnson bird. She's got some nose art on her, Yosemite Sam with Southern Outlaw. She's got the sniper pod and FLIR and 2 bags under the wings. You can configure all this stuff. We could put bombs and stuff on her as well if we wanted to. You can do a lot of stuff. The tail feathers don't look too bad. That looks pretty good to me. All right, now we're entering the Litchfield radar corridor. As usual, this is done with track IR. Let's see, out of the exit, we are about 60 miles, a hair under 60 miles out of the exit. And we need to do a course of 251 on this. Go ahead and get that in as well. I did come up with this flight plan in Sky Vector, and then took it over to SimBrief, and then imported it into the sim that way. Like I said, it was really interesting that they didn't have waypoints on this flight plan. So like I said, that immediately made me assume that it's all radar vectors. It could very well be. This is like really busy airspace through here, even though we're not seeing anything. Like, there's nothing out there, which is honestly kind of surprising. I don't know why. But we'll go with it. All right, we'll bump throttle up just a bit, and we'll cruise at 500 knots over there. When we hit Mach loop, ooh, little stutter there, little lag. Mach loop will do 500 feet, 500 knots. I've heard that straight from a Strike Eagle entering the route. That's when he called out his speed and altitude was 500 and 500, so that's what we're going to do. We're starting to get over a little weather here, so unfortunately we won't have that much to look at. All right, 40 out. Keep looking off to the left here because I'm looking at my little nav map. Looks like we're flying over a place called Swadlincote. I'm assuming. You know, it kind of amazes me like how different some of these names are. Just south of Burton-on-Trent. What else we got? I don't know what the name. There's a lake down there, a big lake down there below us. What the name of it is? Just fixing to fly just to the north of Litchfield. Litchfield would be back over. over that direction. Can't really see it from the clouds. There we go, just went over Litchfield. I guess that's Litchfield right there. Coming over a place called Burntwood. Very nice, absolutely beautiful ride, just looks gorgeous. All right, we'll hop back in. We're cruising at 498. About 20 out of the exit. We'll see. We'll have 20 to the exit, and then about another, I think, 40 to Mach loop, and then probably about 30 out. We'll start our descent, and we're going to enter it kind of from the west. There's a few different ways you can enter the loop, and we're going to enter it from the west. Nice, looks like the weather at least cleared out a little bit here and maybe building back up, back towards the loop just a little bit. But it should be high enough up where it shouldn't be a problem. As long as the hills, as long as the terrain isn't obscured with clouds, then we'll be all right. Looks like we're about hair over 5 out of the exit for the radar corridor. So our next course after that, all right, next course will be 279. Get that set up as well. There we go. All right, nice. All right, so we're about 42 out of our entry point for Mach Loop. So about 30, we'll start our descent, and we'll just gradually descend down and pick up the loop. We'll fly the loop maybe 2 or 3 times, and then head back. And that would be like that could be a very typical mission. I've also seen some stuff written about where they might come off the loop, and there's a aerial tactics area over Mach Loop. It's basically the same thing as a MOA for us. The planes might come off the loop and go up in the aerial tactics area and do a little dogfighting or something like that. I think it's the Valley ATA. We'll see it on the map when we get over there. All right, I think I'm going to disengage the autopilot. We'll start our descent. It looks like we're going to fly into some clouds. I don't really want to do that right now, so we'll start our descent a little bit early. Pull our speed back just a tad. Looks like you can see the ocean out there already. Unless I'm looking at it completely wrong. It looks like it is. There, we'll start turning to the southwest just a tad so we can circle back to the northwest or northeast and pick up the route entry. Like I said, we're going to enter it from the west over a little town. I think it's called McLenith. That's right. I think that's how you pronounce it. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure on a lot of these, so if I butcher them, forgive me. I try. We'll go down to about 8K. We're about 20 out right now. No, actually, we'll hold her off at 9. Beautiful countryside, is it not? It's absolutely gorgeous over here. I never realized like how rugged the terrain could be over here. Always pictured England being relatively flat, and then like getting up in the Scottish Highlands, it could be a little more mountainous up there, but let's go ahead and descend down to 8s. The windmill farm there. Going on down to 6. And the time of day, the way the lights interacting with the clouds and the terrain too just looks absolutely amazing. That is just gorgeous, is it not? All right, see McLenith. All right, getting ready to pick up the route. There we go. All right, I see the valley. Bumpy. And start opening throttle, start looking for 500 knots. There's our river we want to look for. I don't know the name of it, but you'll see it a few times. We'll fly along with it for a bit here. And we'll open up the throttle some more. Through 800 feet. 600. 5. Speed will vary depending on the turns and stuff like that. We may see 500 knots, we may see less. The turns will bleed our speed off a good bit as we go through it. Here we go. Alright, so we're on Mach Loop. We're on the back side of it. I call it the back side, the back stretch. It's on the southern part of the loop, so trim it down just a tad here. Alright, go ahead and pull her around here. There we go. All these places have names. People that are familiar with the loop can most definitely tell you what they are. I can't. Right, back along the highway here. Follow along it for a bit. $600 feet, 500 and change. Alright, this is one of the more famous stretches of it. You see a lot of videos and stuff through here. You see the little lake ahead of us there. Alright, pull her on around the next turn. About 500 feet. You'll see it changing a lot on the radar altimeter as we peak these, you know, we go over these ridge lines and stuff like that. Ready to make the big turn here. And we're about back where we started. There we go. He let off a lot on that turn. Back up. Alright, there we are, back on our river. About here under 600 feet. Beautiful countryside, absolutely gorgeous. I understand exactly why the pilots love flying through here so much. Bit fast. That speed will bleed off in a second when we start making these turns here. Alright, next turn. Go. Around. Go through the gap. There we go. I call it the gap. It's like a pass mountain. Alright. Absolute blast to fly. We'll let the pictures do the talking. All right, another big turn. Ooh, bad line on that one. Bad line on that one. Or a little bit late. that is so absolutely freaking gorgeous. Swung that one out a lot. I was trying to hit pause brake to get a screenshot, and I completely goofed that up. Alright, I got a few screenshots there. Need to do the Microsoft, the playback recorder app, whatever you want to call it, the replay app. And we could get a lot of good views off of this baby. We'll try it maybe next time. Gets fast on that back stretch because there's not as much turning. Work the throttle more. Blows up through the turns. Alright, we'll go through it one more time, then we'll come off. Take one more lap. If I can hit this turn better. If you don't time them right, you'll be in a world of hurt. Like, you absolutely have to set your lines up. It's just like driving a race car. You have to set your lines up. There we go. A little better. Dropped our speed off like crazy though. Pulled it back some to not get too fast, and didn't put it back in. I got the big turn here. Definitely bleed the speed here. There we go. A little better. I think the Royal Air Force pilots, I think they can go all the way down to 100 feet on this, which is just insane. Got really fast on that. Had to speed in to compensate for the turns. Got fast. A lot more throttle work to this than what I anticipated. Alright, coming off just shortly here at the lake. At the little lake up there was where we'll come off at. More pass down the front stretch. Is there we go. All right, lake. We'll hit the lake and do an unrestricted climb back up to 14,000. And there we go. Go ahead and climb off. Beautiful. Look at there. Bye-bye, Mach loop. Enjoyed it. Oh, we come in here a lot. We may be doing a lot of flights over here. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments. Always love hearing from you guys. Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button. It always helps immensely. All right, we'll start circling back around. All right, turn in for the east. We'll head back to the Litchfield Corridor. Like I said, we could do some dogfighting in the aerial tactics area here as well. We won't today. We'll probably do that some other time though. I swear I could do that forever. It's so freaking gorgeous here. The weather is just amazing. Here we go back east. And like that, we were on the loop, and now we're off, and almost at our cruise altitude. Through by here. There's a few different routes we could take to come over here too. There's a high altitude one. There's one that's further to the south. This one is, I think it's the most common, the Litchfield Corridor, but there's a few different ways we can do it. So we may do some of the other ones sometime. We're definitely going to do some other low-flying areas as well too. I love the low-flying structure. To me, is really cool. It's really flexible. Whereas in the States, you have like specific, routes, linear routes that you have to adhere to. You can only get so many miles on either side of them. But basically, the low-flying areas to me in England is like MOAs on the ground, 2,000 feet and below, where you can plot out any route you want and pretty much fly it. Now, there are some traffic flows and stuff like that, like Mach loop. You can't go through there all willy-nilly and against the current and stuff like that. But most areas, you're open to fly however you want to plot it out. So, and that is like really cool. All right, so we got to head 098 back to the route entry. Do that. There we go. All right, 098. This would be really fun to do in a formation. All right, so our external tanks, both the bags are empty. We got purely internal now. We should be fine on that. So these guys, these Strike Eagles carry a lot of gas. All right, so we're heading back to Litchfield radar corridor entry. Then we'll fly it the entire duration of Litchfield, and then we'll come off and head towards Lake and Heath, and we'll do the recovery. Lake Heath showing Sky Vector winds 100 at 5 knots, so that does kind of coincide with what we saw on the windsock when we left. It had been the other direction all morning long, and then it swapped up at some point. And, so yeah, we'll fly in. We'll hit. Let's see. I'll have to look at this arrival procedure here. We'll be landing on runway 6. We'll fly over Point Charlie, Black Dyke, Farm Bridge. We'll head 145 off of that direct to Lake and Heath. And we'll cross over Lake and Heath at 2,000 or above. We'll enter downwind. We'll go out for about 3 miles for initial, and then we'll do the overhead. So. Man, beautiful over here. Look at that. Weather cleared out. Real nice. All right, entering the Litchfield radar corridor 60 out of the exit. Flying over a little village called Mach. And we'll be crossing over the A458. There you go, right there below us, the A458. And we're just to the north of a place called Bridge North. What a cool place to fly, though. I really like the countryside for the military flights. It offers a lot. I mean, you get to fly over basically a whole country in one mission, coast to coast, pretty much. It just really offers a lot to me. I mean, we'll be doing flights stateside too, absolutely. But I think we're going to be doing a lot in England, out of Lake and Heath. So I guess this is like the suburbs of Birmingham. That would be Wolverhampton over there. Flying over. I see a stadium down there. It looks like a rail yard and a racetrack. Very, very cool. Looks absolutely gorgeous. It's starting to get back into the weather again. A little bit. Wish I saw some traffic out here, though. I really like that. I don't know why. I guess I have to be on the European server to do it, maybe. But I am not getting any kind of traffic. When I was on the European server earlier, it actually kicked me off. It put me in offline mode because the connection was so bad. I think I was averaging about 150 millisecond ping, and it spiked way, way high and booted me off. So just now passing over a place called Burntwood, like directly below us, right there. There you go, Burntwood. I've seen pictures online of from a website called Fighter Control. It's a forum for military aviation spotting. Seems like it has a big following over in England. People are all the time going out in their backyard and shooting these planes flying over their house. Like I've seen several pictures of F-15s flying over people's houses, flying the Litchfield Corridor, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to go back and see that stuff. Just needs to be a Lake and Heath bird. Like, that would be the icing on the cake. That weather is really starting to build up on the eastern side of the country here. So anyway, we've taken the bird out. We flew Mach loop in her 3 or 4 times. I've done a departure. I've done a landing in her earlier today. My thoughts on the plane. It's not a bad airplane. It's really not. I still think 40 is a bit much. I think 40 is a bit much. I would have pulled the trigger a lot easier and a lot sooner if the price was a little lower. Seeing the updates that have been released for it most definitely helped make me decide to buy it. Seeing on the Microsoft forum how much there's a big part of the community that is working on this plane and tweaking it and modding it and stuff like that. That helped as well. Seeing that kind of community interest and that many people trying to improve the airplane. They had their own mods released for the plane. I think a lot of those have been incorporated into the last update for the plane by DC Designs. So that's cool. That's cool that they're kind of working together with the updates and the mods and stuff and then incorporating it into the flight model. So I like that. That also, oof, laggy here. Something must be loading in. Yes, East Midlands Airport, that's what it is. East Midlands should be right over there. There you go, right there. So that was good. That definitely helped me decide to buy this plane. Was seeing it progress and becoming something better. So I don't regret buying it one bit. I'm going to be flying this plane a lot. She still feels a little springy to me on the flight controls. You know, that could be a lot of things, like I said earlier. That could be a lot on me as well. I think it's just going to take getting used to flying the airplane because it is a high-performance jet, right? And we are exiting the route. So anyway, yeah, I like the plane. I enjoy it. I'd like to see some more liveries for it. I've had some experience painting some things. I might be able to do something for it as well. It's just a matter of getting the time to do it. Let's see, we are about 65 out of Lake and Heath. Beautiful, beautiful countryside. Look at that. Go ahead and start pulling our speed back a tad. Pattern speed for Lake and Heath is 300 knots from what I read on the pamphlet I saw. Pattern altitude for overhead is 1,800 feet. We overfly the field at 2,000, then we hit the downwind. We do a 3-mile initial about, we'll kind of guesstimate that. I don't know where that point is at exactly, and then we'll come in and do the overhead. We'll try to do the overhead. I have done the overhead in plane earlier. It is doable. It wasn't too bad. So we should be able to do that. Lake and Heath 55 out, okay. The big thing is finding Point Charlie, finding the Black Dyke Farm. Like, that stuff is kind of hard to pick out in the terrain. It's so flat over here on this side, and there's so many little dotted fields and stuff. It all looks the same. Like, the landmarks that you're looking for are, like, very, very subtle. There's RAF Cottesmore. I don't know what kind of aircraft they have based out there. It'd be cool to find out, though. Be interesting to see. You see several pads down there for them to land on. Or not land on, to park. To park. Not thinking. Blown away by the scenery, that's what it is. What a cool little hop this is, though. Man, it's such a cool trip to make. Oh, basically almost all the way across the country and back. And get to fly a really awesome low-level route. Look forward to doing some of the ones in the Scottish Highlands. I think those would be really fun. All right, we're about 35 out. Let's go ahead and we'll take off the autopilot. Start pulling the speed back and start our descent into Lake and Heath. Fix the flyover march here. Watching a little nav map. It's helping guide me in looking for Black Dyke, because looking out there at that right now on the horizon, like, I have no clue where it would be. With the map, I know exactly where it's at, but without it, nope. There we are, 300 knots. Little stutter there, probably from Lake and Heath and building hall and all that loading in. Make our turn back towards Black Dyke. Oh, laggy. So laggy. There we go. A little better there. Something was loading in. I don't know what, but... Alright, looking for Black Dyke. I don't see it. Like, it is really... I think I see it now. That little pond right there. That may be it right there. Right there, about 1 o'clock. That is it. Maybe not. No, I don't think that is actually. No, that is not it. Never mind. All right, it's going down to 2,000 feet. Looking for it. It is just really extremely hard to pick out in all this. It really just is. Like maybe fault well right there. This may be Black Dyke right here. We're coming up on just through 1 o'clock. That may be it. I think that's it right there. There we go. That's it. Right there. There we go. That's it. Okay, found it. Not without the help of a little nav map, though. I'll be honest, if I didn't have a little nav map, I would have never found it. And I think that's Lakenheath straight ahead. We'll be landing to the northeast, so we'll fly over and then do a right-hand pattern, turn right downwind, and then go out for a bit and come back in and hit the initial and do the overhead. We got to get up though. We got to fly over at 2,000 feet, a bit low. There we go. All right, that's better. 2,000 or above. This is all stuff that I've doped out on things that I've read. It's probably not 100% correct. It's just like what I found and how I interpret it. We'll say it that way. All right, there we go. There's Lakenheath. Very nice. Beautiful. All right, go ahead and turn downwind. Looking for 240. And we'll start descending to 1,800 feet. Actually, no. We'll stay 2,000. We need to stay 2,000. Take that back. You don't descend to 1,800 feet until after you hit the initial. All right, let's go ahead and circle back in. All right, overshot that turn just a hair, but we got Lakenheath there. Get to 1,800 feet. Building hall right there. I have to go back and look at these arrival procedures some more to see if I can better understand it. The last time I came in from the other direction, so this one I'm not, like, really not familiar with at all. All right, 1,800 feet for the overhead brake. Go ahead and break 340. Alright, got flaps and gear. We're about 170 knots. Turns to final always kind of freak me out when I'm not very familiar with an airplane, because I'm like, is she gonna fall out from under me? Is she gonna stall? Like, what's gonna happen? Not the prettiest overhead, but we got it. A little bit high on it. We'll take it. Only our second landing in this plane. Like I said, you see how she's springy on the controls there. Definitely springy. Wants to float. Whew, a little bounce. He breaks out. Didn't aero brake her at all. I didn't even want to try. I just want to get it down. Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but we did it. We got it down. I'll take it. You break it back in. We'll take it. We'll definitely have to do some pattern work in this plane. You know, they don't do a lot of touch and goes. I mean, it's not unheard of, but I think they do by far like way more low approaches than they do touch and goes. Just because it helps with wear and tear on the plane and the tires and stuff like that. Hey, these little fighters are kind of fragile, you know. You can't be, I don't think you could just be, you know, doing like hundreds of cycles in them, slamming them down on the runway. All right, we'll exit the runway and call it. We won't bother taxiing all the way back. There we go. Great portion here. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. I look forward to doing a lot more in this plane. If you did enjoy, please remember to like, subscribe, ring that bell as usual. It's always just really, really helpful and helps the channel grow. Also, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the DC designs at F-15 if you have it, if you want to get it. Questions, what do you think about Mach Loop? Do you want to see more of it? Looking forward to hearing from all of you. And with that said, we will catch you in the Strike Eagle next time. Peace.